I just want to share a few high-level points with y'all. So our year-over-year enrollment was flat at the Dallas County Promise, 56 to 56. We are both thinking about how we can improve that, and there were massive headwinds this year in order to make that happen, particularly in terms of financial aid and sort of the climate that we are operating in with the demographic of students that we support in terms of post-secondary enrollment. We had, while there were many students that had a 3.0 GPA that did not enroll, 75% of them did or had a strong attainment rate. We're considering attainment in an associate degree. So we're very, very thankful for the work that is done there that we're collectively doing. And again, this is higher education institutions, school districts, and moving the needle and giving students opportunity of college access and college credit before they graduate high school. Again, the stability is a huge win. The associate degree attainment adds value, the high GPA conversion, and the intent pipeline working. So again, this is like the fact that there's a 68% conversion rate of students who wanted to enroll anywhere that they actually did enroll is really, really solid. We feel really good about that. So where we see sort of places that we can shore some stuff up as non-college or college-ready non-enrollees. So again, this was the sort of they had high GPAs, they should be enrolling in college, or we should at least be ensuring that they are on a path to an economic living wage job or career. Having a no plan, there's a lot, and there's also a breakout around what we do here to help figure this out. But this is we got to figure this out. That's all I got. The fact that only 22% of them enroll anywhere in college is a thing that we really got to focus on. My guess would be these are students that are also not graduating with an associate's degree or an IBC, but I'd love to test my assumption on that one. Then we've got some intent to match variation. So just, we have the intent, did they actually match and go wherever they said they would? And then our high achiever leakage. So weighted GPA 3.5 did not enroll or attain a degree. So here's just a piece of, and Eric says this all the time, it's super helpful. 250 students is 1%. So 1,000 students plus is at least 4 to 5% of our collective network that met this bar, but either did not A, attain an associate's degree, or B, enroll in college. And if we got there, that number, that again, we think is really awesome in terms of given the headwinds, but that number in the top left would be 60% if it was 100% of every single one of those students. So again, that's what we're really thinking about. And there's a lot our communications team, our marketing team is doing in partnership with our CCAP providers, and we'll talk about this a little bit with our institutions of higher education, to be thinking about how do we get supporting students that are in the middle GPA. Chad always says, when he's thinking about increasing enrollment at Dallas College, and tell me if I get this wrong, he's not actually competing against other institutions, he's competing against the couch. Right? And these are the students that potentially are on the couch that could be going to college. So are the no plan students. And then, I think we've all acknowledged that these high achievers probably have something going on in their life that we need to support and work through. But how do we do it? How do we help them understand what the opportunities are? So thank you so much for digging into that. I am going to give my just real quick, where do we stand against what we said we were going to do? So at the Economic Mobility Center of the Dallas County Promise, we think about our work in 3 big buckets: student impact, system transformation, and organizational excellence. The first 2 is the work that this group of people does together, and the third one is how we work with y'all. So we're going to focus on the first 2. So we have some student impact metrics that we said we're going to attain this year. We're going to increase TSI by 10% in the 4 districts that we work most closely with in terms of CC solutions and our Salesforce instances. That we're going to have a 45% of the 27,000 students that our Dallas County Promise Path Complete enroll in one of the 10 institutions that we work with. with the goal of 65 anywhere. That's because typically 20% of students enroll out of network. So we're trying to pursue an increase in network and keeping the assumption that 20% are going to enroll out of our network. We have, if you haven't met Maida, you should. She's great. She's gonna, where are you? Yeah, there she is. She's right here. She's right here. She's awesome. She's 2 months in, yeah, round of applause, and working on defining our college and persistence and retention strategy. So that's student impact. Systems transformation is the work that we do sort of, I don't want to call it beneath the surface, but it's less student facing, and it's more about stuff in this room that helps student impact happen, that enables us to impact directly students. So one, we said that we were going to launch CC Solutions in 3 new districts. We have launched a 9 through 11 path form, and we want 70% of students in participating districts completing those. And then we've also, which again, we showed it at the last one, but we've hired Tiffany Nicholson. She's still here? She stepped out. Okay. And Dr. Sarah McCoy, if you haven't met her, that we're doing the same thing. We're defining our workforce strategy for Dallas. So we want to share where we are at in those areas. So in terms of student impact, for the TSI increasing 10% in these 4 districts, our goal is 44%. That's a 10% increase because at the end of last year, it was 34%. We are currently at 34%, which means we are 7% ahead of where we are last year. So this is TSI by assessment. This is not college prep. This is they've SAT, ACT, or TSI A2. This is huge. It's huge for a couple reasons. Students are reaching one of the highest academic bars that we could possibly pursue with them. And well, this is different for these districts, but the amount of House Bill 3 dollars that has the potential to bring back to this group of people and reinforce the work that we're doing if those additional 7% and ultimate 10% enroll in college is amazing. In terms of post-secondary enrollment anywhere, I will just say this is fantastic. I have been in this work since 2020 in some form or fashion, and at this point in the year, I have never seen numbers that look like this in terms of college access. So 98% of students, of 12th grade students completed the path form. It's the highest percentage we've ever had. We've got 82% that have submitted an application anywhere in the nation, and 67% of them have confirmed that they have submitted financial aid. This is huge. It's huge. Round of applause. Like seriously, this doesn't happen. This doesn't happen to the point earlier just because students wanted to. And even if we want to build awareness, but even if a student makes the decision not to go to college, they at least had the option to, which is really powerful. So we feel really good about where we're at in terms of those things. We have done a lot of work with our higher ed partners, and thank y'all for coming to the table and engaging with us and partnering with us. We've highlighted some of the work that we did with Education is Freedom and the work that they are doing. We are working really hard to make sure that we don't duplicate efforts of things that we are doing. We are working closely with Dallas College and a couple other institutions around communication campaigns. And then as a result of Maida being here, we'll have the opportunity over the course of the spring to gather some retention and persistence data from institutions, begin to analyze that, and figure out how we can collectively be supporting students better once they enroll in college. So we're feeling good about student impact. And this is the one thing that I do want to highlight. And I also want to thank everybody that came to, sent, or engaged in an incredible practitioner convening. And by practitioner, we mean high school counselors or advisors last week. So what you'll see here is the extent to which those students in the top right that are 82% applications submitted and 68% financial aid, or 67% financial aid submitted, the extent to which they're matched at one of our partner institutions. So I apologize, I think one of our panelists said, it's possible that like a student submitted their name wrong or submitted a wrong number on their Social Security, financial aid. What this data shows here is the extent to which students are interested. So if they're in the yellow, they submitted a path form, but they've said they don't want to go to one of our partner institutions. Cool. Then there's the blue that have submitted a path form and are interested in going to one of the 10 institutions. The red is submitted a path form, and an application has actually been matched. An institution has said, yep, we know that Richard has completed a path form, and we have Richard's application in our system. We know that for sure. And then the blue one is financial aid matched. We know that Richard has submitted financial aid, and he has been matched at our institution. You have to be admissions matched to be financial aid matched. So what we are working on, and what part of the practitioner convening that we had last week, was a big push to help advisors and counselors understand if there are students who said they were going to college at one of our partner institutions that are not matched anywhere, so that they can go back and work with those students to make sure that the lack of a hyphen in a name or the wrong Social Security number does not prevent them from getting matched and getting the aid that they would otherwise do to be able to enroll. Because what that means is a student has done everything that they know that they are supposed to do or think that they're supposed to do. So this is going to be a big focus for us, is pursuing matches at institutions over the course of the spring. In terms of the systems transformation goals, again, just to be open and clear, we have launched CC Solutions in 2 districts, Duncanville and Cedar Hill. Thank you so much for the work that you have done there. And we've started training staff. I want to talk a little bit about the 9 through 11 path form, mainly because this is, with a group of people, my pet project, and feel really good about. So we launched the 9 through 11 path form about 6 weeks ago. And we probably right now have about 10,000 completions across our 13 districts, our 12 partners, with an over 11% completion. Just to give you a sense, right? If this were just the 12th grade path form, it would be almost a 40% completion. We're pursuing 70% completion with almost 85,000 students by the end of the school year across our 12 partners, and we have an incredible start. We're able to say things about like who students influencers are, what they are considering doing after high school, if they're interested in dual credit, and it will be data that we can put in the hands of both institutional partners to connect with students, but also districts to help them understand their student experience in 9th, 10th, and 11th grade. And we've got 9 high schools right now who are already over 40% completion, which is a fantastic start, and we're very thankful for the work there. And then lastly, we've got our workforce development strategy. So Tiffany and Sari have been working really hard to put all of that together. We've started an advisory council with partnership with United Way. And what we're really trying to do here, to some of the conversation that was coming up earlier, is just understanding our role in helping students who either want to go straight to work or do not have a plan or don't necessarily think that college is for them, how they can enter into training programs that increase their living wage or earning potential right out of high school. So we've started a lot of work there. So that's just spiel. That's what we're doing.